This
for agile
conference will
topics.
now be recorded.
From Monday onwards, we need to work on agile topics. So please come prepared. So entity can be a real world thing. Either it's an animated, inanimated, can be easily identifiable. So it can be a student, database, teacher, classes, courses, can be anything. Okay. So in entity can be anything. Okay. But every entity that we come across have some attributes. Attributes are about the properties of entity. So if you have a car, your car, if you say what car you have, Mercedes, let's say Mercedes C200 you have, or let's say whatever XYZ car. Now let me give you an example. Let's say Ford Mustang you have. If you have Ford Mustang red color, right? Ford Mustang red color, let's say 2020 editions or 2020 year make. Okay, same red color 2020 make Ford Mustang I have, my car will be different than your car. What attribute might be different? My number plate might be different, the seat covers might be different, right? The things that I have put inside my inside my car can be different. The way that I have my keychain of this car will be different. So every entity can be uniquely identified by their attributes. Okay, so we need to, whenever we are doing entity relationship, we need to figure out what are the different entities involved and what their attributes are to uniquely identify them. So there can be different types of attributes. One can be simple attribute. Simple attributes are like which is simple, right? If it is student, student's phone number is a simple attribute. Okay, student number is like simple attribute. And then like your email ID can be a simple attribute. Okay, so your address can be a simple attribute. That's like not a complicated attribute, straightforward, we follow and then we go through it. So that's a simple attribute. Okay, so that is like simple attribute. So composite attribute meaning you don't have straightforward information, but you are like creating that. Let's say composite attributes are like, let's say I ask your name. Okay, let's say Pratima. Let's say it says Pratima Adhikari for an example. Okay, complete name Pratima Adhikari. Right, out of that I will derive what is her first name is Pratima. Because she gave me one attribute, which is simple attribute of name, I asked her name. Out of the name, I derive two attributes, which is a first name, which is a last name. If I ask Pratima, what is your let me think of an example. Yeah, let me see. I asked Pratima, what did you eat? Okay, if she says me chapati, that's an attribute of what she eats. Because she eats chapati frequently, I have composite attribute derived that she might be an Indian. Okay, so composite attribute is not straightforward given, but you understand that because she said this can be an attribute. Okay, this can be an attribute. And then like we can see derived attribute. So derived meaning you had one attribute, from there you borrowed another attribute. So it can be like if I ask Pratima her date of birth, she just gave me one attribute, which is her date of birth. From that date of birth, I derived her age. Okay, her age. So that is derived from one attribute. Okay, so if I ask where do you live, Pratima, and she told me a postcode, from there I derived a location. Okay, so that's a derived from there. Okay, so that's derived. Single value attribute. Single value attribute meaning you can only have one of them. You cannot have multiple of them. Your SSN number, right? In UK we say like a national insurance number. Okay, like your residence permit number or your work authorization number. This can be one unique number attached to one person that you can only have once. You cannot have multiple of them. Okay, you cannot have multiple of them. So that's like your single value attribute. Multi-value attribute, you can have multiple them. You can have multiple phone number, you can have multiple home, you can have multiple kids, you can have multiple email address. So this is like you can have multiple attributes. So these are like different type of attributes. So what is that like we create? We based on the entity, two different entity, we understand like what is the relationship. Okay, relationship between two different entity. So there are four different type of relationship. One is called one-on-one, one-on-one relationship. One is called one-on-one to many relationship. One is called many to one relationship and many to many relationship. Say when you say one to one relationship, meaning, okay, let me give an example.
So this type of composite attributes and all these, why we need here in our project, Ridhima?
Because like every time when you are describing a system, if you are putting diagram, you are creating and explaining your stakeholders that this is how we are building the system and this is the solution. Okay,
Mhm.
for each solution you should say, okay, this is like would be needed as an attribute. This system should have this. From here we can capture this information as a derived attribute, and this can have multiple value of this, so this can be the multi-valued attribute of this system.
Okay. So when we'll do little complex project or the vague one, then I guess we need this type
Yeah,
of things.
yeah, I'll just give you an example just in 5
Oh,
minutes.
okay.
So one-to-one relationship, what in your life you have one only other than SSN number? What is that you have only one and you can have only one? I don't think
Driver
it's,
license.
no, you can have multiple driver license. You can have Indian license, you can have US license, you can have UK license. So you can't say driving license. You can say US driving license.
Your date of birth?
Yeah, you can have one-to-one data. Date of birth is not an entity. Date of birth is an attribute. I'm talking about entity.
Okay.
Your thumbprint?
That's also an attribute.
Aadhaar
Belongs
card.
to an entity. Sorry?
Aadhaar card.
That's also an attribute that belongs to you as an entity. I'm talking about relationship between two entity. You can, okay, let me think what you can have. Okay. Can I say like you have one father or one mother? Not logically, because you can have multiple mothers these days, everything possible. Say your relationship with your father, right? You have one father. Your father is an entity, you are an entity. You have your own attributes, your father has his attributes. Relationship between you and your father is one-to-one, right? So you are one daughter, if you are one daughter, or you are one son to your father and you have one father only, then that is like one-to-one relationship. One to many. You have studied in multiple schools. You probably studied like 5 different schools during your 10 years of schooling. You changed 5 schools. So as one, 𝗔𝗂𝗿, one entity, 𝗘𝗍, have 5 entities, a school, and her relationship with school is schooling with 5 different schools. So the relationship between her and her school is one to many. Okay, many to one. Lot of people, like all, like say US citizens, vote for one president. All Indian citizens vote for one prime minister. So all meaning many citizens of India vote for one prime minister. So you can have one prime minister at one time, right? So you can have one prime minister at one time. So that's like your one, many to one, many to many, many of many. Your relationship with your teacher, that particular teacher would have many students, and you also would have many teachers in your life. Your relationship with your teacher is many to many. Your teachers had like many students, you had many teachers, and you had your attribute, your teachers, each of your teachers had their unique attributes. Is that clear? Is that clear, you guys? Say yes or no.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. This is an entity relationship diagram I'm showing right now. Give 5 minutes. Understand what is entity. Entities are all described in this square box. Okay. You put like entities in square box. Actions, whatever the entity performs an action, because every entity performs some action. You drive, you eat, you buy. Your buying, driving, eating is an action. Okay. So similarly, for an example, we talk about customer. Customers' different actions would come as an action box. Attributes would be in that circular ellipse form. If it is one to one, then we just put a straight line and say one to one. If it is many to one, many branches come, and then like it comes one. If it is 0, then it is 0. If it is 1, then you said write 1 in here. Okay, 1. And many to many, so here multiple branches, and here also multiple branches should come. Okay, showing the diagram. Okay, have a look, and then I'll ask one of you to explain.
Can we zoom it? I'm not able to see properly actually.
If you zoom, the whole image will not come in one screen. I can zoom in, but then it will not come. Let me see if I double click on this.
But you know what is written, only me, or I'm not able to see that properly.
How about now?
Yeah, that's a little bit
This is
better.
yeah.
Okay, who's going to explain? Let me see. Shweta, can you explain this? Shweta, can you unmute, please?
Starting with the company produced some item.
Give me example also, okay? Relate to it to your real-time company. Who produces an item? Tell me an example of it. Think and tell. Who produces item in your real life?
So Walmart and produces groceries.
Okay, perfect. Walmart. So company attribute entity is Walmart, which is company.
Yeah.
So Walmart is the name, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Now go on. Every attribute you describe about it, okay? Next, please.
And produces the groceries, the item name here. Orders by the customer. The customer details.
Item, what is like your name and price? What is name and price?
So, vegetables, any groceries. You have to specifically tell the name. Any vegetables. You have to tell the specific vegetable like that.
Yeah. Tell any example of any vegetable. So what is the name? What is the price?
Okay. It's a capsicum and the price is so $2.
Okay, perfect. So those are two attribute. Okay.
Yeah. The order, the customer details, name, address, and the email. If it is the online order, they will ship into their address. If it is they are buying from their credit card, we'll go from here. E-commerce. Oh, I don't know knowledge about the e-commerce.
What is e-commerce? Amazon is e-commerce. Whichever you buy from online,
okay,
that's e-commerce. So Walmart, that customer is buying online. Now tell again, relate everything online and tell me what is the process.
If it is online, e-commerce process an order and create a shopping cart.
You went randomly. Go in one sequence. Anybody wants to help her? Go in a sequence, you guys. Like, don't go random everywhere. Pratima, what happens after item?
Sorry, what
What
happens?
happens after item? Can you explain?
After she purchase the capsicum and then price, after then.
Purchase is not an action. It says orders.
Say orders, okay, orders, and after ordering, the will verify the customer. So here the customer itself is ordering, right?
Yeah, customer is an entity. Order is an action. So the customer multiple. So it's many to many. One customer can order multiple of items. So that's why it's both the sides branches are opening up. Can you see? You as a customer can order many products from Walmart. Is it right?
Yes.
So that's why the relationship is many to many. every customer is uniquely identify their attributes. So what are their attributes here?
Customer's attribute here is name, address, email.
Okay, then what it does?
And it goes to the SIPs item. This I didn't understand. He'll give this action is happening itself, right? Now here is like when he give his name, address, and email, the product goes for shipping. The
Yeah, so
items
it
goes for
means product
shipping.
goes shipping. Yeah, shipping item happens. But
Yeah.
that below that there is a branch. So he will make a payment of the order. He has credit card, verifies and makes. So somebody who made this diagram did not complete in the middle one. If I am that person, I could have said customer has credit card, payment as an action, and payment by maybe MasterCard or Visa card as an attribute, and then says payment confirmation would have been
So
the same.
why he mentioned has it's like a supporting action, right?
Action.
It's not the
Yeah, it's an
main. It's not the action.
yeah, it's not main action. He has a credit card. If you're buying something online, either you have a credit card or debit card or some online payment. Otherwise, you can't make an order.
True, but there should be like what should be here? It should not be has.
It can be like if it doesn't, you can say makes. Then the entity can be payment, makes, payment, and then payment would have multiple attributes, say credit card, debit card, MasterCard, or PayPal. It can be like that.
Okay, and then this verifies things happens. That is maybe the backside of the credit card. What is
Yeah,
that called? 3 number.
back end. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
back end like the credit card validation happens. Yes.
Mm-hmm. And then there is no arrow. It's completed itself here. Does that?
Yeah, it is logically the payment done is like what he wanted to show, but he stopped, I think, in between. So like customer has credit card and then verifies, then the next step should have come payment done.
Payment done, yeah, that is the final thing. If
Final,
he's
yes.
using, yeah, so if he's purchasing like that, so in other arrow in the left side which shows that shipping, then forwards order, so who
In my
forwards that
view,
order?
in
Yeah.
my view, the right direction is like both the direction it goes because it didn't give a single direction. Say multiple item, he adds contains, meaning one shipping cart can contain multiple.
Mm-hmm.
I should have, if I'm a business analyst, added, I should say added rather than contained. I
Mm-hmm.
multiple item because it's multiple item added to one shopping cart. When you are checking in, you have one shopping cart which contains multiple items, and that shopping cart will create, so that creates one order, right? So
Mm-hmm.
here I should have say payment done, payment,
Yes.
and this conforms to the order because he adds the shopping cart and makes the payment. So this should be like both directional. And once the payment done, it processes into the e-commerce, like whatever Amazon or Walmart, they process in the e-commerce. So e-commerce is the channel here entity. So your
Mm-hmm.
Walmart again is Walmart e-commerce is here.
Mm-hmm.
Processes as an action, they forward the order. So or like they say ship the order. I could have said ship the order. Okay, I could have said ship the order here, or it's a shipping as in process. Order ships item to the customer.
Okay, those arrows should be there, right? Without that, how do we know where it's going to end,
So
the
probably
process?
yeah, so we should have given a single arrow mark outside this because an entity relation we don't give arrow mark. So we could have given a single arrow mark outside this like this.
How this process go, correct?
Yeah, like
Okay,
the
and then what you are adding, so middle there is one arrow that contains item, then contains, then order. What is that for? So on
content
the
order.
left side,
Yeah, so
item.
if you create an order, one order will contain multiple items, right? One order ID
Yes.
will generate. If you say order processed, order ID, but that order will have multiple items. So it means multiple of items. If you see here, multiple of
Mm-hmm.
items are part of one order.
Okay. And that name
This is
and
how
price,
we do
what is given here is for the multiple items, not only for one product, right?
one.
Name
Yeah,
and price attributes.
yeah.
Okay. And this flow chart, this entity relationship we are showing the customer buys the product from the, what is the scenario for this? Why we'll make this entity relationship diagram?
It's showing how a customer are, let's say you are Walmart hired you as a business analyst. You show me the complete process of like how the customers makes a purchase on our platform. What are the information needed while customer making a purchase? So what information needed are coming as an attribute, and the process you are explaining by ER diagram.
Okay, thank you.
No problem, guys. I have a meeting. Can you? I'll send you homework. Can you all work on one entity relationship diagram example and one business process? I'll send the exam like homework, and please do that and get that ready by Monday, please. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. I didn't record, I guess, did I? Yeah, I think I did. Okay.